In a stunning twist just weeks before the 2024 election, former President Donald Trump is firing back, accusing special counsel Jack Smith of trying to sabotage his campaign. Trump took to Truth Social, claiming the government is being weaponized against him after a legal filing from Smith's team was made public, right in the middle of election season. Is this a case of election interference, or just another chapter in Trump's battle with the Justice Department? Let's break down what's really going on. It's not uncommon for people involved in legal trouble during election campaigns to frame actions against them as politically motivated. Trump's use of the term weaponization of government certainly fits his narrative of being unfairly targeted. That said, it's important to consider the legal framework and whether the 60-day quiet period was actually applicable in this case. Despite Trump's claims, the decision to release the filing wasn't made by Jack Smith directly, but rather by U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan. She made the choice to unseal a redacted version of the document after reviewing it. The 60-day rule, often followed by prosecutors, doesn't necessarily apply in this scenario, since the judge in an ongoing criminal case ordered the release. Prior to the decision, Smith's and Trump's legal teams had engaged in discussions about which parts of the document should be kept confidential, mainly to protect sensitive information. It's interesting to see how the process works behind the scenes, particularly that this wasn't Smith's unilateral decision, but one made by a judge. This distinction is crucial. It highlights how legal processes can continue even during politically sensitive times, and a federal judge has the authority to move forward with such decisions. The document in question outlines Trump's efforts to challenge the results of the 2020 presidential election. Trump and his campaign argue that the timing of the document's release is intentionally political, aiming to hurt his chances in the 2024 race. Trump's legal team has pointed to what they consider a breach of the 60-day election rule, but Judge Chutkan has been firm in asserting that the former president's campaign for re-election will not alter how the legal case is handled. She emphasized that the case will proceed based on the law, no matter the political consequences. It's not surprising that Trump's team is challenging the timing of this release, especially as we get closer to the 2024 election. However, Judge Chutkan's stance reflects a commitment to separating legal proceedings from political campaigns. This balance is key, as it demonstrates the independence of the judiciary from electoral politics. Smith's filing had originally been sealed because it contained sensitive information from a grand jury and witnesses adhering to legal norms. The filing itself focused on whether Trump's actions in trying to overturn the 2020 election results fell under his presidential duties or were personal acts. The U.S. Supreme Court had already ruled that Trump has immunity for certain official actions taken while in office. Judge Chutkan is now tasked with determining which specific actions are covered by that immunity and which are not. The issue of presidential immunity is always a complex one, especially in a case involving actions that blur the lines between official duties and personal political goals. The fact that grand jury and witness information was involved likely explains why the document was sealed initially. It's good to see that there's a clear process for addressing these sensitive legal questions. Critics of Trump's stance note that the current scenario differs from other politically charged pre-election disclosures, such as FBI Director James Comey's comments on Hillary Clinton's emails in 2016. Unlike Comey's statements, which were unrelated to an ongoing criminal case, Smith's filing is part of a broader legal process against Trump, who has been indicted in several cases involving his attempts to overturn the 2020 election results. Trump's critics argue that there's a fundamental difference between the two situations, with one involving public commentary and the other dealing with court proceedings. Drawing comparisons between this case and the 2016 situation with Clinton's emails can be tricky. While both involve high-profile political figures, it's true that one involves legal indictments, whereas Comey's remarks were more public-facing without criminal charges involved. This distinction might influence how people view Trump's claims of political interference. Legal experts, including Justice Department veteran Chuck Rosenberg, have commented that Smith's legal team followed proper procedures in handling the case. They also support Judge Chutkan's decision to release the filing, pointing out that the 60-day rule is typically not applied in ongoing cases overseen by a judge. Despite Trump's objections, the case is expected to proceed as planned, with legal processes continuing independently of the upcoming election. It's reassuring to hear from legal experts that the procedures were followed appropriately, as this adds credibility to the argument that the timing wasn't politically motivated. Judge Chutkan's decision seems to align with the norms of judicial independence, reinforcing the idea that the case will move forward regardless of the election timeline.